Welcome to Talk to the Future, where the future of sales isn't predicted, it's built. Each episode features real conversations with the operators, marketers, and innovators driving what's next. From AI and automation to the strategies that are converting right now. No fluff, just what's working.
We're live again on the Talk to the Future podcast at LeadsCon 2026. I'm Joe Gray, the host for today, and I'm here with Otto Foerster, the TCPA insurance guy.
That's right, Joe. Great to be here. Thank you so much. It's the final day of LeadsCon 2026, and what a show it's been,
Brother. How are you feeling about the show overall?
Loving it, man.
Yeah?
This is it. What a great crowd. I mean, I feel like it's bigger this year. There are more people. There were more booths. There's more money flowing through this industry today than ever before. It's really, I'm dead serious about that. I see it in my business, and I see it here at LeadsCon.
Well, you said something, my business. I want to hear about your business. Tell me about Avante Insurance Group.
Yep. We have an insurance brokerage business where we are not the insurance company. We represent the buyer in the transaction. We specifically, it's a little nerdy, work with folks that make a lot of phone calls and send a lot of text message, email, sell a lot of leads, do a lot of paper calls. So it's a lot of the folks that are here. Obviously, and when you're in sales, you want to be where the fish are, right?
Right.
So it's a pretty fishy spot. But when folks make calls and they're aware of risks that exist, we're in the business of taking those risks off the plate of the insured and putting it with the insurance company. And we do that with risk transfer insurance. So we're a little bit of an old school shop that understands insurance, but we're bringing the understanding and the know-how of the lead gen business, and we're merging those two together. So we really do a great job representing the client in the transaction.
That is beautiful, man. What prompted you to get into that, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah, that's kind of a nutty, I was, starting the business up. We were just grinding. Phone rang. Referral from a large attorney firm that I've been doing business with for a long time. Explained the risks. Hey, we have this very specific need, this TCPA need. It's for a contract. Can't close on the deal. We need it. And I just said, yeah, man, I'll got you, man. And then I made 100 phone calls and found out how to get it done. And here we are. Shit, that was 10 years later. And I am the TCPA insurance guy now. So that's, if anything, that the lesson there is just answer the call, be ready and figure it out. And that's America right there. That's what this country's all about. That's what I believe in as an entrepreneur, as a business owner. That's really what I believe in. It's attitude, man. It's attitude. If you keep a great attitude, you're happy, you answer your calls, you return calls, you do your best, like great things happen. And that's what this community here really fosters that, because if there's any place where you don't need money to get into a business, all you need is a laptop, a cell phone, and a willingness to get up and go. This industry has proven that all these things here started just like that. They're not really asset heavy at all. So it's amazing, and you get such a widespread of people. You have young, you have old statesmen and the wise, passing the pearls around. So I'm really blessed to know some of those folks, and I've started to trade with some of those folks, and you just get so much out of obviously we're trying to build our businesses here, but also they're become friends, and we're very friendly and catch up about their kids or what's going on in their lives. And I just care deeply about the people we trade with and transact with, because they're real people at the end of the day, and there are employees and real businesses behind that, and it's fun, man. I really enjoy and love. I have a deep love for what I do. I'm a fourth generation insurance agent from Miami, Florida, Miami-Dade County, born and bred, 305 till I die.
There you go, man.
And it's just insurance is obviously something that I'll tell you right now. Nobody likes insurance. I mean, there's a statistical, survey that went out that said, who would you rather talk to, your insurance agent or go to the dentist? And like 90% of people were like, I prefer to go to the dentist than talk to my insurance agent.
That's saying something.
And so you got to make it fun. You got to make it fun. You got to have a, upbeat attitude. And, it's just, that's what I try to do. I try to take something that's really complicated, really annoying, really difficult to understand, make it easy, make it fun. And yeah, man, just buy more.
There you go.
Obviously. So
it sounds to me like you have kind of it's a niche product, but it's a niche product in a huge industry. I mean, what would you say the percentage of individuals that are operating in this industry, how many of those people actually need your service?
I would say, again, part of the reason why I'm so excited is because for all the work I've done, I've been here for 10 plus years, I probably tapped 2% of what's here. I really am not kidding. And I built a business on this. So that's what makes me so excited, is the opportunity is so great. The need is there. But it just depends on the risk tolerance for the owner. If somebody's super risk on, you got a blue Mohawk and a Ferrari, you're just making calls and doing what you do. Like
Wild West. Yeah,
that guy or gal's not going to buy from me. That's fine. But in the words of our attorneys, in the immortal words of our attorney, govern yourself accordingly. Watch out. You're cruising for cruising, because you got all these really smart attorneys out there that trying to they're trying to mount that. They're trying to get into your business. They're trying to get into your kitty. They're trying to jump over that giant wall that you've set up, or that big moat that you put a division between the assets of your company and what's out on the street. And our job is to build up that moat wider, or build up that wall taller to make those pirates make their job really difficult to scale and jump over that wall, man, because they're coming at you, and they're getting smarter every day. The lawsuits that I'm seeing on my desk every day, the claims that I have to submit to insurance companies, they're more frivolous, they're more annoying, they're more difficult to deal with, but the volume's up. And and the insurance companies that we trade with, they're taking care of those claims. Or what they do is they assign attorneys, they assign adjusters to work with our clients, to hold their hand throughout the process, defend and indemnify. There's a big fancy word right there. That's a big fancy word. And they're and that's what they do. And then hopefully it settles, or it could do a lot of things. But the whole point is, when you have insurance, you're not sitting there right in front of the fire sweating and dying over how the ups and downs of the case, because insurance company's going to take care of that. The job is, you send the insurance company in there so you can run your business, so you don't have to worry about all this stuff. The insurance company's here to take care of all that. You, the business owner, the management team. The lawsuit is a giant distraction to the business. So if you're not careful, you take your eye off the ball, that thing could spiral out of control, either the business or the lawsuit. And so, as an owner or as a management team, you now have managing the business, and now you're managing a whole other business, which is a lawsuit, and that's very annoying. So you can totally cede all that to an insurance company. You don't have to worry about it. That's what we sell. We're selling peace of mind.
Peace of mind is something that, I don't know about you, but I will pay whatever it takes to not have to sweat. I'm a big dude, so I'm going to sweat anyway, but figuratively. If I
we are on the Bigly podcast.
Tom's Mr. Bigly. I'm little Bigly.
Okay.
If somebody were to want to engage you, where would they find you?
They typically, people just find me. I'm a terrible marketer. I don't, we have a business website. We have they find me online via email. Probably the only things I do is I work out of my briefcase, and I'm just very available. You call my cell phone. That's how people really find me. But yeah, we got website. We got, I don't know what else. Yeah, LinkedIn. I'm really, again, like I said, I'm a terrible marketer. In a world where everyone's a great marketer, I'm the worst one of all time.
You're the guy who supports the good.
That's right. I literally, I literally am just saying, hey, you have to find me to use me. You know, it's not easy to find me, but it is easy. You just got to reach out to me via phone or text or email or whatever. Again, if you're working with an attorney, I promise you they know who I am, or with one phone call, your attorney will be able to find me. I guarantee that for sure. A lot of the attorneys in this space know who I am. So, you know, it's a great community at the end of the day. That's what I really found, Joe, is it's the community here. Everybody wants people to win. You know, it's not like people are trying to step on each other's throats to get to the top. You know, everybody's very supportive. Everybody wants people to do well. I feel like that's the community that I found. If there's another community out there, I hope I never find it, but I have not seen it. I've really just been a part of a crew that has always said, hey man, your product is so unique. You have such a niche. Like we need this in our industry. We need this in our community, and we really need to help you grow. And I was like, man, why are you so nice to me? And I had somebody say that to me last night. I said to him, why are you being so nice to me, man? And he said, because you always work your tail off for us, and you're great at what you do, and I really appreciate that. That's why I try to help you. And I was like, man, that warms my heart. You know, that's just it's a great compliment to me, to my team in my office. I mean, we have, you know, personally on my team, we have 4 or 5 folks, and then in the company we have over 65, 70 folks. So we've really grown commensurate with the book that we have in this space, and you know,
and that's at 2% market penetration.
That's right. Oh yeah, we're not even close. We haven't even touched anything.
Talking about 98% still available. I know for a fact. I've been in marketing for the last 12 years. I didn't know TCPA insurance existed.
Yeah, most people think it's too good to be true. Actually, it's kind of a weird thing, and I have to kind of take the snake oil off of that offering. You know, to use some of the parlance here in this community, like, because I'm like, no, it's with A+ rated insurance companies, and then I'm like, do you understand what A+ rated? That means billions. That means billions upon billions upon billions. Right. That's what that means. This is not Shifting Sands Mutual. This is not some, you know, insurance company with a shack on an island in the middle of the Caribbean. This is like, you know, big dog, big daddy insurance company. So
reputable.
I mean, A+ is A++. It doesn't, you know, it's very difficult to even fathom what that means to the non-insurance you know, folks, but it's literally, these companies have been around for 150 years. So part of my ability to get this type of deal done, there's one of our happy guys right there. Hey, what's up? Thank you, sir. No, I love you guys, man. Thank you for everything. Thank you, Jeff. So just sorry, we're another happy client just walking by.
That's just a testament to the fact of what we're talking about, man.
So thank you. So so one of the things that's so interesting is I had to build this with my own 2 hands. This was not a product that was sitting on the shelf that was like had dust on it. I had to literally go in to the salt mine, get them to do it the way I wanted it done, and then we got that language worked out, and we're never done. We're never done. We want the language better. We want more. That's what's so interesting is I work for the client. I do not work for the insurance company. My job is to represent the client in the transaction where they will get smoked by the insurance company if they are not prepared. So just like an attorney, I am there to professionally negotiate a very difficult agreement, the most complicated contract you will ever enter without an attorney. So that's why I kind of look and sound like an attorney, because I'm negotiating something very similar to that. And we're trying to get a $1 billion insurance company to go from a no maybe to a yes. I mean, you can't just fall deeply in love with that kind of transaction. I don't know what, you know, you should go sell aluminum siding, for God's sakes. I mean, this is, and I know I'm super passionate about it. And I know everyone thinks that, oh, insurance is Uncle Bob. He sells insurance and he's got, you know, Coke bottle glasses and big red nose, and you know, he's like,
leans the right way.
That's right.
On fire behind him.
That's what I have to overcome, because when they say, I got this great insurance man and he wants to come, and he's like, oh God, you know, I've seen a million of them, and then they're like, oh, you know, you're not like everyone else. That's the thing, and that's what I've really tried to get my team to understand is like, we need to differentiate ourselves. We need to really, because people hate buying insurance. They hate it. And it's like, man, we can make it fun. You know, I mean, even just a renewal process is a very difficult process. It's paperwork. It's required tons of this data from the business. We need cyber insurance. We need errors and omissions. We need D&O insurance. I mean, you can't make this up. You know what I sell? I sell Side A DIC. You can't make that up. How complicated does that sound? I'm not even going to try.
Yeah, there's too many. There's too many acronyms.
I'm not even going to try. But that's the point, right? It's this alphabet soup of just nonsense. And it's like, you need somebody, whether you like me or not, you don't have to use me. I'm saying find a broker that you trust that can help you mitigate risk in your business, because typically it is not that expensive. It is less expensive than you think. And most
less expensive than a TCPA lawsuit.
Boom. Boom.
That's itself is justification right there.
That's right. So, really at the end of the day, business in itself, insurance very much so, it's about trust. It's about, know who you work with. There's a million jackrabbits coming in the lobby in my office. Hey, we want you to sell our product. And I'm like, what's your provenance, man? Where are you coming from? Are you Shifting Sands Mutual? What are you doing here? Why should I sell your insurance paper? Because that's what we call it. It's paper.
Yeah.
I put them through the screws. I put the screws to them. That's my job. What most brokers do? What do? How much you gonna pay me? That's a distraction for me. I don't even worry about that. I let my partners negotiate that. I'm not in that business. I want to do what's best for the client. I want to work on difficult problems, solve difficult situations. Could be a contract, could be that's typically why people buy it. Just so you know, they buy it because a contract makes them buy it. Why do most people buy homeowners insurance? Correct. Because I think my house is going to burn down. Hell no, they buy it because the bank makes them buy it. And that's.
Well, they've got PMI. They even have PMI.
Right. Correct.
I mean, it's just the nature of the beast.
Well, what is insurance? Insurance is the toll road on the American economy. We are behind every transaction. Insert transaction, insert an American business owner who doesn't have the scratch to get the transaction done, insert bank. What comes right after bank? Insurance, man. So we are very underestimated. And we see everything. I see everything. And you ain't going to get, you take me to the grave, you're not going to know what I know, right? Because a lot of the clients, they have to tell us how they make money. They have to tell us how they started their business. A lot of people are scared to do that. Part of what I'm doing is I'm like your coach. I'm your risk management, your risk management coach. I'm trying to help you mitigate risk in your business. It's just like an ounce of prevention is worth a ton of cure. Is that right? There you go.
It's something like that.
Sure. Ounce of prevention is worth a ton of cure. I guess a pound of cure is, I guess, what you're supposed to say. But the point is if you just think before you jump in the Ferrari, before you run down the track, like, it's gonna be okay. I mean, the other thing I say all the time is don't throw the key to the Ferrari to the 16-year-old. That's what a lot of people do here. What do a lot of people do? They say, hey, I've got $100,000 ad budget. I just met 3 guys at the pool bar. We're going in, baby. Woohoo! You know what I say to that? Why don't you call me first before you get that guy $100,000? Yeah. Because he's going to make some phone calls. He's going to be, he or she, neutral term, is going to be doing something that might be a little risky.
Right.
So you can call me on that. We can lock that up. It's no problem. We can lock that up. That's how easy this is. Doesn't it sound easy? It's incredible. Most people are like, never heard of it. Don't know what it is. Sounds complicated. It's not. You're working with me.
Good.
I'm the guy that goes cuts it up with the insurance company. So, I'm very approachable, very available. Pricing. I mean, everyone, hey, how much does your shit cost? It's minimum premiums, $10,000 for $1 million. $1 million.
I mean,
yeah,
that's wonderful. So I'm going to ask you real quick before we hop off here. What's one thing you would like to leave the audience with? The sticking point, this is what you need to remember about Otto Foerster.
That No, I think it's very important that people understand that I represent them, that I work for my clients, that, I work for you. I do not work for anyone else. My loyalties, my hard work ethic, everything I do is for our clients. And if I ever mess that up, that means I've lost my way in the forest, and that's where I've seen other brokers get lost, because they start praying to a different church. That church is the dollar and not the client. And if people know me enough to know that the client is always first with us. And that's what I'll leave people with. And that's the easiest thing I can say, because it's true.
Well, Otto, I greatly appreciate all the information that you dropped on me.
Appreciate it.
I'm looking forward to running into you on the conference circuit again.
It's great to see you, man.
Really a pleasure.
You guys are awesome. Thank you so much.
LeadsCon 2026. We're glad that you were watching. Boom.
Thanks for tuning in to Talk to the Future, where the future of sales isn't predicted, it's built. If you got value from this episode, make sure to subscribe, share it with your team, and stay connected for more conversations with the people driving what's next. Because what's working tomorrow is already being built today.